Hey, what up, y'all? We have a Ringside Barbershop debate discussing Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. July 29th and some crossover exhibition fights. We're talking about Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. We got Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. Man.
But first, a quick topic rundown, starting with some scary news in college basketball. Stay tuned to find out more.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Bridge Now.
I feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose now.
There's only because in boxing, one punch can change it, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are.
I love her because she from the hood though. From the hood though. She like really from the hood.
Loose make you feel fine. Talking about busting loose.
That's not said Nate will never live that down. No, he won't. But it's not about it's about how he gets up.
They doing that. They doing that Wakanda scene when they was just
It's about your heart because you can get knocked down so many times and people can make fun of you, but it's about their resilience.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Ringside with Ray and Prince. Look, to educate you, empower you, and entertain you. So make sure that you hit that like, subscribe button, and share this channel with the people that you care about the most. Other than that, man, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Ray, what's going on, baby?
Man, hey, first we want to give a shout out and a blessing out to Bronny James. He suffered a cardiac arrest during practice on Monday night at USC. We're praying for a speedy recovery for him and the whole James family. Shout out to the USC medical staff for their attentiveness to the college athletes. We talk about some of the things that have happened recently with the Buffalo Bills player and being on point and being there and having the correct medical staff for these athletes is very, very important. So shout out, we'll start off with that and make sure that everybody knows that we're here supporting the athlete first and foremost, and we wish them a speedy recovery because they're bigger than athletes. There's a bigger space outside of sports, and so we pray for his health for the whole James family, man, and we're happy that everything he's in stable condition now. So, but Prince, talk to me about what happened last night, the rematch, the women's soccer, man. The USA women's team went in playing their rivals from last year, the Netherlands, and man, it wasn't easy.
It's never easy, baby. Greatness is hard to come across, man. So it's never easy for someone to win back to back, and our U.S. women, they went out there to rematch the Netherlands last night. This is a rematch from last year's FIFA finals, so it's coming full circle.
They got a little scrappy doing that whole match, man. And, Corinne, I think she's a center fielder. She got a little testy with one of her teammates, and but header to tie the game up.
Yeah, but it was a draw last night, man, and I think both of them are playing to make sure that they prove a point, right? You're not gonna beat me, you're not gonna be victorious. So I understand how it goes. The women, they scrapping, they going at it, man. So it came out to a draw. So we might end up seeing another draw pretty soon, man. I'm just talking about on Saturday, but I don't want to jump the gun. Look, Trinity Rodman, she's the daughter of Dennis Rodman. And Trinity, she had like one of the biggest contracts for being one of the youngest players, and she just changed the game for the female soccer. And
she had one of the biggest contracts in women's soccer, but I bet she would like to be in the NBA like her dad was, because Jalen Brown of the Boston Celtics has signed a supermax deal.
Did you see it?
Cash dollar bills, the biggest contract in history, 5 years, $304
million.
They're
talking real money. I'm just trying to figure out, how did he get paid that much money? Not MVP, hasn't won the championship.
What else we got? Saquon Barkley got some money too.
Man, Saquon got some money. He was complaining. He said He said F you the Giants. He said F you to the Giants, and the Giants looked like they turned around and they wanted to pay him just to make him shut up and show up to camp. So he just got paid. Saquon got paid about $11 million for his contract, and that includes a $2 million signing bonus, man. So what do you think about that, man? What do you think about the nature of the running backs in the NFL right now? How can they come together when that was a divide and conquer right there? They just paid one of them. Is he going to speak out for the other guys? Are they going to stick together?
Nah, that's the conversation we gonna have next week to talk about that. The running backs have been changed or devalued in the NFL right now, and it's a sad situation. So, this guy's one of the best players in the game. He's a game changer for the Giants, and they gave him a 1 year, $11 million contract. Hey, that's a volatile position, man. I don't understand it, Prince.
Their life on the shelf is very short, so they need to go ahead and get that money up front, and then figure out how to make that money work harder for them.
I'm telling you, who's gonna make some money. Everybody that's gonna be in Las Vegas. Yeah. Everybody watch this fight coming up this weekend. The Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight is gonna be a big deal. Well, you know how I feel about this fight, man. They kept talking about it being the second super fight.
Yes.
They say it was Hagler Leonard too. I love both of them because they're going and they're doing work, but I think they should get credit on their own merit and don't compare them to a once in a lifetime transitional fight that happened then. But I'm excited to watch it, man. I'm excited to check it out and see who comes up and shows out fighting for supremacy at that weight class.
Look, Kev for Ringside said they were getting rowdy at the press conference today. I can imagine, man. Tension is high. Like, the fight is right around the corner. Like, Bud, he's ready. Errol, Spence is ready. I mean, come on, baby. You got all this energy in one room. It's going to explode. What do you expect? Even the trainer, what's Errol Spence trainer name? The trainer saw Bud Crawford, and Bud was just like, what's up? He's like, what you mean, what's up? You tell me what's up. And so it got heated real quick, man. It's a lot of testosterone, a lot of men. They ready to go. Well, they're ready to put them gloves on and box, man. So, we're going to bring in the experts, man, at some point in time, because everybody want to talk about this fight. It's going to be a good one.
We got some of the baddest folks in the game out here with us today to talk about the fight, and we going to argue it because, I'm very opinionated about who I pick for this fight.
Right.
You got your pick. Everybody got their pick. But let's break it down. Let's find out who's going to win and why. And what who else better than people that actually fight?
Right. Let's go ahead and bring on some of our experts, man, and we can talk about this. And it's gonna be other people dropping in. You already know the fight is going on, but we need to bring in everybody else. So let's bring in these experts, these incredible and beautiful people. Like, got the men in ringside. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? I hope y'all feeling well. I hope that y'all feeling amazing today. So we're glad that y'all can join us for this segment of Ringside. We got Barbershop debate, and so we're gonna break it down for you. So I'm gonna let Ray break some stuff down for you real quick.
Oh yeah. I mean, we got some fantastic guests. We got one of the best boxers, two of the best boxers ever to do it. We have Isra Girgrah, her name is Isra Wynn now, so I got to give her good respect. She don't got married to her thing. She got a family going on. But you remember Isra Girgrah, and she was knocking fools out, doing her thing, coming up as one of the advanced people in early stages of women's boxing that was didn't get the respect. Like, women's boxing was not getting respect, and they like, hey, we just gonna kick the glass through, and we gonna do our damn thing. It happened. And we got my girl, Corinne, then Ryck the Groot, boxer, stunt woman, speaker, activist. I mean, all the stuff. She is a legend in her own right, and she does her thing. So we're super happy to have her on. Doug Workers in the house.
What's going on, Doug? How you doing, man?
Good. How you?
And then Doug, we got all these experts on here that know what the hell they talking about. So instead of us just sitting here doing it on Rants and Raves this weekend, Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, two of the baddest, two undefeated fighters. What is it like? I'm gonna bring Isra in first. Isra, what is it like to be that fighter that's undefeated, that's coming in and saying, okay, I gotta step up and the lights, the spotlight is on me. Like, what does that feel like? Like, what are you doing? Like, how does that, like, the butterflies, everything, to have a big fight like that?
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. This is exciting. This fight is, I know everybody's been waiting for this fight for a long time. And, I heard you talk about your pops, and he was like, this is not a mega fight like it was back in the day, but it is for our era and our generation now. But it's exciting. It's, of course, butterflies, nervousness coming in with, you know, an O on your record. Whose O gotta go? And it's a good matchup. Styles make fights. So I'm really excited. I'm kind of still on the fence. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited to see this fight. I know they're very hungry. I know that it's going to be a fight, a dog fight. I know it.
Well, we're going to let all y'all get your intros and be nice to start off with. But the reality of it, we're going to try to get to the bottom of it. We're going to say, who are you going to pick? I actually had to come out and say who I was going to pick last week, but I think I might switch. But we're going to see. Corinne, who you got? What is it like to step into the ring with a big-time fight like that?
I've had the pleasure of fighting under like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones back in the day. So, and I was always a swing belt, because I was a female fighter on the card, and I was so lucky to fight right before Roy had fought on so many cards. And it was the nerves were so much coming into an arena like that. You're fully prepared, but you're never really fully prepared for a fight like that, and you don't really know what it is until you actually step in the ring and feel everything. So for this fight, I'm picking by a 0.05% Terrence Crawford. And the only reason I'm doing that is I love Errol Spence. He's coming in the bigger, stronger fighter. He's got, that incredible jab, probably like the best defense in the business. He's coming in with all that pressure and those thudding punches. He's unrelenting, right? But for me, he's coming off a 15-month layoff. He did have that accident, did have some retina issues. Yeah, he's coming back, but he came back really strong. But he was in his 30s now, right? So I think all of those things take a toll on your body. I would have liked him to maybe seen a little tune-up fight. Now with Terrence, this is a legacy fight for him because, he had won the junior welterweight, unified that, I think in what was 217. Last person to do that was Costa, right? He comes in with those hard punches, but he's really tactical, I find, with his punches, and he's got that snapping hard punch. And I really believe that if he can, he's also, a switch fighter. And he does that so seamlessly, and he sets traps for his opponents. So for me, I believe if he can keep Errol on the end of his punches, use the ring, frustrate him, and come in and do that body snatching that Errol does, maybe Errol will make some mistakes and Bud can capitalize on those little errors. But honestly, I think what it's going to come down to is the day of the fight, who can make the best adjustments in the ring as the fight goes on. That's where I am.
Love the breakdown. Love the break. Talking about a breakdown, talking about somebody that has been on the big fights, that had a mega fight, that was a major underdog. My man, Sugar Shane Mosley. Shay, dude.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
When we was on here, when we was talking about, back in the day, we was working together about here. Like, you want to fight De La Hoya. You wanted that fight. What was that like with you, man, to come into that big fight? And what do you think these fighters are going through with that space?
Well, for me to go into that type of fight, I mean, it was one of the biggest fights in LA, and at that time, the biggest fight. Seeing everybody in the that went to the fight that was there, that could have been very intimidating, but it wasn't. I mean, I was just so excited to be in that space where I can show my ability to show just how good I was. I knew that going into the fight that I had to beat him, convincingly. And even still, I still got a split decision even after that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a mental thing that you have to be prepared for when you're getting ready to fight those type of fights. And I believe who's in the best mental space in this next fight coming up with Errol and Terrence is going to be key. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tremendous fight.
Awesome. We want to hear from you, Doug. What is the key right now? What do you think is going to happen with this fight? What do you think these guys are going through?
Well, it's a big fight. There's a lot at stake because these guys have been talking smack and talking about each other and calling each other out for several years. So it's a big fight in that sense. It may not be the fight of their lives, but it's certainly big, and it's big for boxing fans because it's one that kind of captures our imaginations a little bit. It's one we've wanted to see for a while. What's really going to make the difference in the fight? There are two things about Terrence Crawford. One, I feel like he's a little bit more fluid, more of a natural boxer than Errol Spence. And the thing about him, and somebody said dogfight, and that's exactly it. And if Terrence can make this a dogfight, because he's got that junkyard dog in him. If he feels like Spence at any point has the upper hand, he won't allow it. He'll come out fighting, clawing, biting, whatever. So he's just he has that fighting spirit in him where he's just you can't get one up on him. So I think that's the biggest factor for me. I think Errol Spence's size does even out the playing field a little bit, but I still, my heart has to go with Bud just because I think emotionally he's in a better spot and maybe just wants it a little bit more.
He's more of a chess player, and Errol, he can balloon up a little bit more, but the 1 inch height advantage, is that big of a deal?
Not really, no.
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 Right. So
I think more size. I wonder where Errol Spence walks around at, because I met him one time and that's all. But standing next to him, I weigh about 180, 185 pounds. He seemed like he was about as big as I am.
Oh,
so if he's walking around at 170, 175, that's a big welterweight.
But that could be a disadvantage trying to get down to that weight and then go back up. I know that from being a fighter at lightweight. I fought Gennaro now used to tell me that I fought better when I was bigger, like 147, than when I was at 135. He said he noticed the difference right away when I was making weight. So that could be a problem too as well.
What do you think? What do you think, Isra?
Yeah, you know what? I think that weight, it all depends on how he lost the weight and how he rehydrates. It could make him slower because of the fact that he might have, lost it the wrong way and then regained it quicker. So it really depends on how that happened. Bud could be, walking around at that weight all the time, and he spars like that. He walks around like that, so he's used to that weight, and he'll be faster. He'll be crisper. So for me, it all depends on how he lost that weight.
I see Terrence Crawford a lot. He's around like 165 when he walks around, when he's just regular. But, that's easy to get down to 147. But with being at 175, 170, that's more of a 154-pound weight where you walk around at if you're at 154. So that could be a problem if he gets down the weight. And another thing that I say, too, that made me go more for Bud, because I was on the fence, too, as well. But I'm going for Bud because watching them shadow box in the ring, just doing regular stuff, I can see that Bud is more fluid and more moving around, whereas, Spence seems like he's a little stiff. He seems kind of stiff. He seems really stiff. He throws his 1-2s kind of stiff. He's not really moving his head a lot. He's not, have that rhythm. I don't see that in him hitting the mitts. So that's making me think that Bud has a little bit more rhythm, a little more, stuff going on than Errol Spence. I think that Bud has the edge right now.
Pressure fighters, right? The pressure fighters that were smaller with Gamboa, and who was that? It was the Mean Machine. They both put pressure on him and stung him. Like that, it ain't gonna be the same thing. Errol punches way stronger than them cats. They was a little lighter. So could get the Bud.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it's all gonna come down to it's more mental, but I think that Bud has more like I said, he has more of the fluidity in his movements when he's working out and stuff like that. What I see coming into the fight, so I see Spence being more stiff, Spence not being as fluid as Bud. That could be a problem. Now the size of them, maybe that help out, but if he's stiff like that when he fights, I think Bud's gonna take it to him.
So look, that's exactly what Corinne was talking about, right?
But I see no, that's good. But Errol Spence would hit his chin like that dude. We got hit with some shots and just laughed and walked through it. What do you think, Corinne, about a puncher, like a fight like that? Especially if you hit him and you hit him with your best shot, you're like, damn. they still coming. Like, how do you deal with that?
Well, to me, I think it's going to come down to the body game and breaking down the opponent. You know, Errol is an excellent body puncher. He breaks you down, and he looks like he's getting stronger as the fight goes, but he's really breaking down his opponent as the fight goes. But I do not think that Crawford, the way he fights and his style of fight and his movement and his agility, as Shane was saying, he isn't going to stand in front of Errol. He's not going to make it easy for it. Not like Sean or Ugaz were easy, but he's not going to stand in front of Errol like those guys did. And I do believe that Terrence is also a body snatcher. And I fully believe that if he makes Errol fight when he doesn't want to fight and it starts beating that body, then the head will come. You know that. You beat the body down, the head's coming.
Yeah, sure.
So Errol throws how many punches around? I mean, I think he throws damn near 100 punches around. I've never seen this dude tired.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely think Crawford has to slow him down some way, slow that pressure down some way.
Well, the only way Errol can throw those many punches is if Crawford stands there and lets him throw the punches like that. He stands in front of him, and that's what a lot of the other guys do. Whereas Errol Spence will sit there and mesmerize him with his jab and 1-2s and all that stuff, that long punches, and they kind of stay there and able to get in with those shots. Now, if Crawford, Chance Crawford is moving, it's going to be hard for Errol to throw some punches because Crawford can hit too, and he got some power too. So it's going to be a different type of fight.
Yeah.
And also both of those fighters are southpaw, predominantly southpaw fighters. And that jab is coming straight down the middle. That 1-2 is coming straight down the middle. I think if Errol can really control Crawford's jab, because he's got that amazing jab, that if he can control that jab and keep him at his distance, I fully believe that Terrence can take that fight. It's all about controlling his jab. It's a beast.
So interesting, Doug. Like, you got two southpaw fighters, right? So normally, if you have two traditional fighters, you worry about stepping on each other's foot, or if you orthodox, you move around, you worry about somebody stepping on each other's foot. Like, how do you see that? How do you train for that with two people who are southpaws? They already awkward.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, it negates that being an advantage or awkward for the other fighter. But it does also come down to how much experience each guys have fighting southpaws in the gym and in the ring. I don't know the answer to that, but it'd be interesting to see who has more experience in that area, because that will factor into it.
I can speak to that, Sugar. That when I'm a southpaw. When I was fighting an orthodox fighter, it was the best thing in the world for me. But when I had to go fight Brenda Vickers and a couple of those ladies, it was everything. I got cracked because it was coming from the opposite side. You know what I mean? So I absolutely had to get that sparring in the gym. But it was so opposite. It was hard, very hard. So it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, at this level, it shouldn't be a factor for either one of these guys, but you never know.
It's still a factor. It shouldn't be that much, but it's a factor. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, I was watching the other night, and it was Cambosis, and I'm like, this dude, like he's fought so many times. I know he's fought a southpaw a million times, but he still wouldn't get his foot outside the other guy's foot. I'm like, how are you doing that? Like you got to move away from that power punch, and he has it inside of him. Many times he's been in there. Does it like the mental game? Like the thing you talked about it. You talked about it. Corinne, you talked about
it's mental.
And how you set up, and once you get in there, like Mike Tyson said, hey, everybody got a game plan until you can punch in the mouth, right? So
that's true.
So what's the process? Have each one of you have you fought somebody and took that first punch and was like, damn, it's gonna be a long night.
I did a couple times, yeah. I remember I was injured when I fought Pacquiao, but I remember going in the ring, knowing that I'm injured. I popped my Achilles anyway. So he drops me in about the second or third round, and I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, he's a southpaw. You know, he does the left hand, he drops me. I'm like, man, I got like 9 more rounds to go. So yeah, I thought about it before.
Corinne, what about yourself?
Oh yeah, I got cracked. I got dropped in my last fight, and she hit me with a clean shot. I had my right hand down. She came in. She hit me with the left hook, and I was like, oh my god. Yes, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Right. Isra, what about yourself?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was a couple of fights that I got cracked. I know the fight against Christy Martin. She hit me in the second round, and it wobbled me. My hands hit the ground. It was called a knockdown, but from then on, it was like, okay, I got to get my stuff together.
Isra gave her the business.
Yeah, I had to get myself together for what 6-7 more rounds. I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
That brings a great point into the conversation. Is that if these guys come out early and they're swinging, I heard the Tarver one was talking about it might be 3 rounds Hagler Hearns type of things, but they come out and have this dominance. So how do you go past that storm if it comes out like that? You get tired, you're going to battle, and then you're like, oh damn, I still got 12. I got 9 more rounds to go.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, I can't see them coming out like Hagler and Hearns because they both got firepower like that. And I know that, Errol's going to want to set up his jab, the 1-2s and stuff like that. Like, he's more of a patient fighter. Crawford will go out there and fight like that if you do that. But if you're, patient and stuff, I think Crawford's going to be a little more patient and try to time him the right way. I don't think he's going to rush out there because he knows he can't do that. But if the other guy does it, then Crawford will – I think that he will, play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's more, both of those guys they like to pick their shots and pick their knockouts. They're not just throwing punches at the air. You know what I'm saying? Just for no reason. So I think it could go to about, 5, 6, 7 rounds, probably more.
Ooh.
Or the whole distance. Or the distance. I wouldn't say 3 rounds. I think that's too quick. I mean, anything can happen, but I think that's too quick for those 2 fighters because they don't fight like that.
Right.
Yeah, stylistically, I don't see that happening. It's going to be more of a chess match. It's going to be about strategy and each guy trying to impose his will a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
That's an agreement. We got agreement of that they're crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Shane, I know you in Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah.
You work with Jake Paul, man, and that fight is coming up. Nate Diaz. You got this crossover fight happening, man. How you feel about the fight? What do you think about this crossover from UFC to boxing? Give us your take real quick.
Well, as far as Jake is concerned, I think he's doing a phenomenal job being only fighting for 3 or 4 years and fighting 10 rounders and fighting on this type of level, even though he's fighting like Nate Diaz or he's fighting, Anderson Silva or even, he's fighting these different guys. But he's not even been in the boxing game that long, and he's already doing so well. And for this fight, he's going to do really well. He's been training. Well, the head coach is third of Chambers and J. Leon Love. And, I'm a trainer too, but I'm not the head trainer. So he's getting a lot of good looks from different people. Chad Dawson's down here working with him. I mean, he's getting good looks. And he's looking good. He's looking strong, looking fast.
Conditioning guy in the business.
Yeah, he's working with Larry Wade,
the
best conditioning guy in the business, Larry Wade. And, I mean, he's just doing a phenomenal job. He stays in the course. And I think that, I think it should be a knockout. But that's just me because I'm watching. He should not do it out. But if he don't, he should win.
Right.
So he's looking great. He's looking good. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He's learning, learning very, very fast, very quick. A lot of different things, movements. How to turn the foot, how to twist, how to bob and weave. Just all kind of stuff. He's learning. And hopefully we can see him put it into this fight. Yeah. Because sometimes you can do something in the gym and you be phenomenal in the gym doing all kind of stuff, but then you get to the fight and then, like you said, you get punched in the mouth and then something happens. you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. But I think he's gonna do a great job, man. I'm excited.
Nice. I love it.
Shane, have you got in there and worked with him a little bit? You put your hands on him a little bit?
No. I spar with all the other sparring partners, like in sparring partners, but I don't spar with him or anything. But Jake actually, man, he can punch. Some of the heavyweights are saying that he hits as hard as some of those heavyweights that they get away with.
Yeah, he can crack a little bit.
Yeah, he can crack a little bit. They said, man, don't be fooled. Jake can crack. So it's good. Then you got Serrano. Amanda Serrano and the other one down there on the card too as well. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Newman.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a nice little card. It's gonna be a nice little fight out there in Dallas. I can't wait.
Love it. Before we go, I want to ask Isra and Corinne also about the future of women's boxing. You have Clarissa Shields have been dominating. You have Baumgartner out there doing her thing. So
got Amanda Serrano too. Okay.
Yeah, Serrano out there doing her thing too. I like the vibe that's happening. What do y'all think? Do you think it's the appetite is there for it to continue to grow, or what do you think needs to happen to help women's boxing continue to hit that level?
Go ahead, Izzy.
I think that it's getting better than it was when, of course, we were in the sport. I think that there's better talent out there for women. There's better opportunities for women to be showcased on the networks like the Showtimes and the HBOs and the DAZNs. I think that it's getting a lot better. There's a lot of great talent out there. Alicia Baumgartner is amazing. Amanda Serrano. I would love to see that fight.
Yeah.
Between Amanda and Alicia. That is like the fight. Clarissa Shields is dominating, of course. It's just that we need more of that. We need more women being showcased because we have a lot of talent. And I'm so proud of the women that are, sticking to it. Yeah. Amazing.
I agree with Isra. I think when Isra and I were coming up, we were coming up like kind of in the Mia St. John era. And so you had some fighters that were some really excellent fighters, and you had some fighters that were out there strictly for entertainment purposes. And it was very chauvinist kind of still, but extreme back then, male-dominated arena. I had to fight tooth and nail and had to know somebody to get on the Tyson cards and to get on to the Roy Jones cards. And even then it was hard. But I know Isra and I, we were up like everybody training, running Stone Mountain at 5 o'clock in the morning in the gym in the middle of the day, hitting the weights, and then we were sparring at night or switching it. There's a lot of good talent out there, but we weren't able to be showcased. So now that there is an opening, a much larger opening, I hope that the promoters take advantage of it, see the level of talent and skill and the extreme determination of the women out there that really want to fight, put those fights together. And I think the platform is just huge, just like it is in the UFC, how they're getting, they get a lot of opportunity. And I would like to see that within the boxing realm as well.
And Jake Paul is doing a fantastic job promoting as well.
Yes.
And he's really showcased Amanda Serrano, amazing. And that's hats off to him for doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I actually watched Amanda. I just recently watched Amanda work out in the gym, and she's managing another little up and coming women fighter.
Yeah. And
just watching Amanda work and spar with her, I was like, wow, the women boxing is getting a lot better. A lot better. She looks really good.
That's good.
So,
well, you got to think that with just so many women on main event cards, headlining cards out there, how's it going to affect the next generation? We're going to see a whole generation of young females that see that have those role models that you two maybe didn't have as much.
Yeah.
So think of how that's going to really breathe life into the female side of the sport.
So Doug, I wanted to ask you before we go around and we give our final opinions and final picks on this fight, or this upcoming fight. I want to ask you about the business of boxing. Like you guys at Tidal are doing amazing. You're selling great equipment. You're bringing in a new phase of folks to introduce them into the equipment space. What's happening with the business of boxing?
Well, the business of boxing is great. We were heading into another golden age like it was in the 80s here before COVID hit. It was that things were going that heavy and that strong. Slowed down a little bit. It was picking back up again pretty quickly because everybody, of course, had some time off, and now they're anxious to get back at it again. So that side of it's really good. And, I do have to bring up, since I'm on your program, that we recently got involved with Sugar Ray Leonard and launched a Sugar Ray Leonard line of gloves and working on other equipment, which is very exciting. Right. I got involved with because of the 1976 Olympics. So being able to go full circle, and here we are working together and doing some stuff. Makes it a real personal project for me, which is a lot of fun.
Love it.
Do you know one of the reasons why my name is Sugar Shane Mosley is because of the Sugar Ray Leonard gloves when I was 8 or 9 years old.
The Franklin gloves.
The Franklin back in the day, and
Yep.
I would wear the gloves all the time, spar, hit the bag. It's like, you're Sugar Shane. We're gonna call you Sugar Shane. From 10 years old, I was Sugar Shane Mosley all the way to now because of those
Those are
gloves.
the gloves I used. They had
That's a great story.
It's Shane, I think I may have the only magazine, the magazine that had you, my father, and Sugar Ray Robinson on, signed by all.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember that.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Y'all get your final call. Y'all pick final pick.
I'm gonna say I got Crawford.
You got
I was on the fence. I was on the fence all the time, both back and forth, 50-50. But watching the workout and seeing what they was doing, I think Crawford got the edge.
You got one plus. All right, who you got? Who's next? Who wants to go on the record next?
I got Bud. I got that heart. I got Bud straight up.
All right, good. Who you got?
I got to go back to just some of the earlier conversation, and I think, like Shane, depending on the day, I would kind of vacillate a little bit. But I really think it's going to come down to what Shane spoke to, and I mentioned that Spence is a little stiff. Well, if he's going to bring a little bit, no matter how much of a professional he is, he's going to bring that into the ring on fight night. So that's going to accentuate that. Bud's a little bit more natural and relaxed. I see him getting out of the gates earlier, and either stopping Spence mid to late in the fight around 8-9, or at least getting such a wide gap on him that Spence can't dig himself out of the hole and Crawford wins the decision.
Ooh, 3 Crawfords. Sheesh.
Here comes Izzy.
You guys go Spence now, huh?
Okay.
What you got?
I was on the fence as well. I think that Terrence, he can switch his stance. His ring generalship is amazing. He's a dog in there. I think that Errol, he's a true welterweight. He keeps his hands up high. I'm gonna go with Errol Spence.
Errol
By this much.
Prince, hey, look, I'll say this, man. I've been at home up late at night watching both fighters on YouTube, just watching the interviews, just getting into their head, into their spirit, seeing what they're talking about, how they feel, and what they're looking forward to. So, I study greatness, and I'm just in their minds, and I'm looking at them both, and I'm listening to them, and one of them saying, calmly, I'm gonna destroy him, I'm gonna beat him down, and the other one is saying, look, I see it, and come fight night, I'm gonna kill him, right? And so they have that mentality, and so when I look at these fighters, I've been 50-50 for a long time, but it's time for me to go ahead and choose one, and I'm gonna choose Errol Spence, man. And I would just say the only reason why is just I'm so reluctant to even say that, but because I've been picking Crawford for the past few weeks leading up to this, but it's just this dude is sound. He cuts him off, he cuts his opponents off, and he just keeps wearing them down, and he doesn't get tired. Yeah. And that's that. And in the deep south, we call that cockstrong, right? So he just cockstrong, man. And so I'll leave it at that. But I would not be surprised if Crawford put some combos on him and knock him down.
All right. Well, I guess it leaves me at the end.
Let's go.
My prediction is that it's Shark Week.
It's Shark Week, huh?
I'm hungry. Sharks need to eat. So I've been watching this fight. I think Bud was going to give him Errol the fight of his life. I think Bud is going to do everything to make him frustrated. But I think the determination, Errol coming back from multiple car accidents, him just being a fighter, him taking punches. And once I seen him get cracked by Ugas and look down to try to find his teeth, and then he went back and started laughing. I'm like, this dude is unreal. Like, what is wrong with him? And then he came back out and said, all right, I got to take care of business. But both of them, once Bud get cracked, Bud want to come back and fight too.
Yeah.
So I think neither one of them will get ground. I think that Errol will come out just on him being the busier fighter and him continuously, because I've never seen him get tired. So I think he finishes all 12 rounds strong. And I think it's going to go to a decision, and I think it will Spence wins.
What can people find you? Sugar Shane, we got your stuff right here.
Shane Mosley, just Shane Mosley. I had the blue check mark.
Okay, all right, there we go. Corinne, what can people find you?
Just at Corinne de Groot.
All right, there we go. Isra, what about yourself?
Isra Wynn at Isra Wynn.
There we go. Doug, what can people find you, my man?
I'm at Doug Ward Official or at TitleBoxing.com.
All right, man. So,
Doug, you gotta have us all come to Title Boxing and try on some of them gloves and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
We here. Look, thank you everybody again for joining us for another great episode of Ringside. We got to let our guests go. Thank you, guests, for just being incredible and amazing and giving your acute point of view to this fight. We appreciate you being here. We're going to go ahead and give these people our words of wisdom, how they can stay above the ropes, and y'all have a good one. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate our guests for staying on here with us and being there with us, man. So, look, that was fun, man. The ropes. Say it again.
That was fun.
Man, that was fun, man. I appreciate all of that, man. I love how you was just moving the energy all around. You got this.
I feel like I wanted to get back in the ring. I want to throw some
Hey, I was sitting on the corner. I was like, I'm just gonna be your towel man. Like, go ahead, take it, Ray. Look, man, I love it, man. I love what you do, man. That's the dynamic of our partnership, our relationship, man. Like, I like to sit back and watch you do your thing, man. So, man, I appreciate you and everything that you do, man. This was a beautiful episode. I can't wait to see you get back in the ring, man.
We here for celebrity boxing, holla.
We talking about celebrity boxing, baby. So we're gonna make it happen, man. Look, real quick, I want to give the people a little bit of stand above the ropes. I mentioned this earlier this week, and I said, make sure that you don't put all your business on social media. You know, don't live your life on social media. Live your life off of social media, and make sure you don't put all of your business on social media, but put your business on social media so people know what products and services that you offer. You know, I think we getting carried away by thinking that social media is a place of relief and our therapy, where we can go and share the most private parts of us, right? And so what we need to start doing is just reminding ourselves, don't spend your time talking about your problems on social media. Deal with your problems at home, but share with people the process of how they can heal themselves, they can get better, mindset growth, and all of those incredible things. But put your business on social media so they know if you have a business, you're promoting products and services.
Man, that's mic drop right there, Prince. I'm going back for mine. I'm talking about what my big brother said to me. I said it yesterday. Mike Tyson said to me, he's been all of the inspiration. The cat that's always like sends messages, just checks on me no matter what, right? So he said to me, if you're searching for that one person who will change your life, take a look in the mirror. Like we always looking for somebody else to do it. We always look for somebody else to blame. But when we take that personal accountability, it brings it all back. So make sure you're taking that personal accountability. Anything you want to change in your life, it starts with you. Yeah. So make sure that person that you see in mirrors is the same person that you say that you are.
Hey, man. Where's my mic at, man? It's right here. I'm going to drop it too, man. But, man, that's a mic drop right there as well, Ray. That's what we do. We mic drop when we knock you out, man. Look. Hey, we want to tell everybody thank you for joining us for another great episode of Ringside with Ray and Prince, where we look to educate you, entertain you, and empower you. Make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button and share this episode and share, our show with everybody that you care about and that you love. Other than that, we out of here, man. Peace and power, y'all. You already know.
I feel like busting loose.